Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator. Farming Simulator 19, no less. Still very excited to be able to say 19. I know we've sort of gotten used to the idea now, but I'm still quite excited about being able to say that. It is very cool. So what I'm going to do to start things off today is I'm going to spray this field with weed killer. Now we've only just put it down. And the reason that I'm doing it now is because I want to see if this works as a preventative measure. Now, some people do think that it does work. Others have said they've had mixed results. So I thought, well, we'll try that out today. This will be our first thing that we'll do. To start you off, it does change it. You know, we've got fertilizer sprayed at the moment, so it is changing that. Now, I know that we've got sort of a strip around the edge of the field, and then we've got all of this area here that's not actually been planted, and I can appreciate that some of you may find that a little bit painful to look at, but I couldn't be bothered to go over the field again with the really small seed drill that we've got, the really narrow width one. So what we're going to do after we've done this spraying, or at least after I've done the outside round and then set it going on its own, is we're going to take the seed drill back to the shop. We're going to return that one, and we're going to get an upgrade. Now, I was thinking of just getting a small upgrade and going for the 6 meter. What would you call it? You know the one, the 6 meter drill, which is a direct drill. I can't just remember now. Valtra, the Valtra 6 meter drill, and I was thinking that would actually be quite a good one to use. It'd be good for the farm. It's about the right size. I thought that the 9 meter Horsch Pronto one would be a bit big, and also probably a bit big for our tractors, which is why I didn't want to go for that one. A couple of people did say that we ought to consider going for the Horsch Pronto, but I don't think I will at the moment. Yeah, I will be at some point in the future, because I really do love that seed drill. It is probably the best seed drill out of them all. It's not sort of so big that it gets ridiculous, but at the same time, it also does the job really nicely. And when I say ridiculous, I mean, you know, for general purpose. You know, if we had a farm that was generally much bigger fields, then obviously the Horsch Pronto would actually be a bit too small. It wouldn't be very practical at all. But for what we've got, the Horsch Pronto is about the limit. Anything bigger than that is too big, and we wouldn't want. And I don't think that the Horsch Pronto is necessarily suited to the land that we've got. So I'm going to let that one carry on there, and hopefully it will. Oh, hang on, no, I just want to check that it does in fact turn properly right on this bit. Hopefully it will end up doing a complete turn. It's going to go right up to the edge of the field. There we go, and they've completed their work. That was the bit that I was hoping that they weren't going to do, but they went and did it anyway, just to be difficult. So what I'll do is, it's because of the way that this bit finished here, isn't it? So if I bring that one over there, look, and actually, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up to the top of the field, and I'm going to have it do the bit up here. And I'll start from this side. This is where I'll start. And then it should go right up to the other end of the field when it comes back around and does the other goes the other way. So if I bring it to about there, I think, and Helper E has completed the task. Right, I can start it there. Now what's it doing? Right. Okay, so it doesn't actually like the idea of doing this at all, does it? Because it's not doing it as a preventative treatment. So we'll see. If we get some weeds on the field, we probably will get weeds on the field, but we'll have to see. We may end up not having a full preventative treatment on the field. I mean, I can go and do this manually, but I'm going to choose not to. I'd like to see what it's going to do now, because we've done once around the edge, so it should give us a rough idea of how this will come out. So we'll bring you on down, and I don't need to do anything else with that one at the moment. I was thinking of doing a bit of mowing today, but we're going to go and change our seed drill first. It's out and it's ready to roll, so if we go and do that a minute, And we'll lower that one now. I'm going to swap the two tractors over because this tractor's quite a bit faster on the road than the other one. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to speed time up, and we're going to keep that going on. I'm just wondering if we should go 60 times or if I just go fast. You know what? We'll just go flat out. We'll go 120 times. I'll run it at 120 times speed. This one can move over out the way. I've got the lorries and everything else is all out the way. I don't need those for a minute. And we can just wait for everything else to kind of build up. Bring you over here. I was thinking of doing a bit of mowing, like I said, but if we do this first, we've got the mowing there ready to go. The other thing that I'd like to do is plough the field at the top there above where we've got the grass anyway. And I sort of figured, you know, if we do some mowing up there, we could plough that field up afterwards, join the two together, and then it'll all work in together quite nicely. The reason that I want time to tick by quite quickly is because I want these chickens to keep producing eggs. I want the chickens to multiply, and I want them to keep producing eggs as well. So the more eggs we get from them, the better. And we'll also hopefully inch towards getting our skid steer that I want to get, and get that back to the farm. And that's the one that we're going to be using for like moving pallets and stuff around. There's one big test we haven't really done yet with those egg pallets, is I want to see how well they respond to being pushed into the eggs, or do we definitely have to pick up each of the boxes of eggs individually, one at a time, and put them into the pallet, manually place them in there so that they're ready to use. Did I move the pallets of wool off of the sheep? I don't actually remember. We'll check that in a bit. I'll bring this one down in here, and I will back it in so that it's ready to go. Like I've said before, I think I said it in yesterday's episode, we are live streaming this Friday. So I'm starting the live streaming every Friday. It's starting this Friday, and this week is going to be no space for the wool. I thought that might come up. That's return. Yes. Okay. As we're going to be live streaming every week, we're going to be doing Farming Simulator one week, and then non-Farming Simulator something the following week. So we're going to alternate each week. And I'm starting off this week with Farming Simulator. And at the moment, I'm still undecided about whether I should do a live stream here on this map, or if I should go and do a live stream on a different map, and you do something like that. I'm not quite sure what I would do. Just get another map and take a look at it and see what people think is definitely an option. I genuinely don't know at the moment, because it would either be that, or I would, after doing the live stream, the Monday after the live stream, so next Monday, I would want to be working on something other than this map, so that we don't have this constant issue with time being all messed up with us. And that was kind of the idea with that. So let me speed time back up here on this minute. There we go. There's our wool. We've now got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 8 pallets of wool down there. We definitely want something to be able to shift these pallets of wool. Let's have you. And we'll move you up to the top, and we'll get our next seed drill. So we're going to get the Valtra 6-meter drill. I'm going to get some power. I'm not going to bother using that, what do you call, today. I will do that another time. We will go to potatoes, seeders right there. And that one would be good, but that's only a 3-meter, the same as that one. So it's that one right there. Or the Horse Pronto is 9 meters. It takes fertilizer and seed. It's absolutely awesome. It's fantastic. These are all a bit big. The Great Plains one is a bit small for what I want. So, you know, we could go for the Amazon Condor. Again, smidgen too big. A smidgen on the big side there. We don't really need that. 14.4 meters there. That one's 15. You need a lot of horses to pull these kinds of things, right? That one there only needs 150 horsepower. It's nice and wide at 12 meters, but it's not a direct drill. That one there needs 270 horsepower, so it's kind of on the edge of what we've got. This one here is perfect. It fits our farm perfectly. It's the one. It is the one that we want. So we'll take that one. Yes, okay, we're going to lease it. And I'll come out of... No, I don't want to go there just yet. I want to go there like that. And I want to go there. And then I want to go big bags. And I want to get 3 bags of seed. 1, 2, and 3. Because the seed drill takes 3,100 litres. I know we got a bit of seed lying back at the farm. But that'll be fine. I am going to slow time down a little bit. We'll slow down to 30 times just for a bit. There we go. Let's hook that one up. Start loading you up. Like I said, we'll use the thingy for loading it another time. We won't do that every time. Sometimes we'll just use the old bucket method and spoon the stuff into the seed drills with a bucket, one little bit at a time. I've done this before. Plenty of other people have done this before. It may be a little bit time consuming to use a bucket to do it, but it does work. It is an efficient way of doing it. And when you get to... What you tend to do is you start getting down the bag, and then you start trying to lift the bag, and you go, no, definitely not going to be able to lift the bag yet. And then you scoop up some more, and you try to move the bag again. You can sort of move the bag around a bit, but you can't lift it off the ground. No, that's not going to happen. And then you get your mate over to help you, and the two of you grunt and you struggle. No, we're not going to lift it up yet. Get a few more bucketfuls in. And eventually you're able to pick the bag up, but it's really big and really bulky. And by the time you get the bag up in the air and wrestle it over into the seed drill, you sort of think to yourself, you know, it probably would have been quicker if I just scooped all of this out with the bucket in the first place. But you still go and do exactly the same again with the next bag. Every time without fail, you always do it. At least I do. Anyway, that's just kind of how I roll, see. We're getting a lot of eggs building up there now. So what we'll do is... Oh, actually, we've got some crop ready to harvest, and we've got some crop sort of about halfway through. We do now have weeds in the field, and it does appear to have worked as a preventative measure. It did. It actually seems to have prevented the weeds in the field. If we go and have a look over here, you can see there where we've actually planted, but that's not the important part. If we go to here, we went once around the edge. So it does actually work like that as a preventative treatment, even if you put it on directly after seeding. However, the game itself, the hired help, will not operate on... It doesn't like seeds. It doesn't like doing it when there's no weeds there. You're just on the seeds. It didn't like us doing that at all, and we ended up having to either do it manually or go back and do it another day. So I decided to go back and do it another day. We've now gone back another day and it's all ready to roll. So if we come up through here, we can get the hired help running on this, and that should now spread this across the whole field. I hope. If all goes well, we'll bring you up there and we'll start that one. Should go. There we go, all the way through. Right, perfect. That is now spraying the weeds off. That's ideal. That's what I want. So long as it goes all the way to the edge of the field and sprays off all these weeds properly. On, you're going to go right to the very edge. You're going to stop. It's gone. It's actually stopped, and it's left one tiny little bit there. But it is turning round, so it is doing what I kind of want it to do, which is a good thing. So then we can move over here and looking around... Just wondering if I should do... I'm not gonna do any mowing this evening. I'm gonna leave the mowing this evening, and we can let the hired help carry on working. We've got a crop here that is just about ready to roll. I don't want the crop in that field over there to grow too quickly, because we also want to get another layer of fertilizer on it. But I think we're going to be all right with letting the fertilizer go right now. I will just check our animals. We'll make sure that we've got everything ready. I've had a load of links from different people for different mods I can use for checking animal pens and things like that. I am starting to look through some of the mods that people are providing me. They're absolutely brilliant. I really like them. It just might be a bit slow for me getting some of them through. So just sort of bear that in mind. I'm not like ignoring mods and stuff like that. I am getting through them. It just sometimes takes a little bit of time for me to actually get them all in place. So we've got... Now, this is the thing. I've got like 5 boxes of eggs here, and I've got nearly that. Not many more over there. I don't remember how many I had down there, though, to start off with. I don't suppose it matters. Now, that one's going to keep going. It should do one more pass on that field, and we'll see what it does while that... There we go. So, come out of that. So, we're on 30 times. So, it's 7:30. Let's do 12... We'll do 12 hours of sleep. We'll sleep until 7 a.m. Doesn't work. Just to press R straight again. So I'm going to sleep until 7 a.m. like that. Run through the night very quickly. And we've got 16,000 in vehicle and leasing costs. 2,000 in loan interest. Interestingly, very interestingly, so we haven't got now... fertilizer on the outside round on the field, unfortunately. We've lost out on that. The rest of the field should be alright. As soon as that weeding is finished, we'll be able to go on and do the next bit with it. We can still use hired help when we've got no money. What we can't do is we can't use... we can't buy anything, so we can't get water for our animals. We can't get seed, fertilizer, anything like that. We can only use the stuff that we've already got. Now we have a look in here. So we've got our chickens. We've got 257. They're down to an hour on reproduction rate on the chickens. These here, we've got 78. They're on 3¼ hours. They're doing well as well. Sheep are on 27 hours reproduction rate. Grass, hay, that's all looking good. You have finished, so let's fold you up. And... then down here, we've got Tech Lime, who's 73% now. Get us $37,000 for selling him. And then we got Windwalker, we got Michael, Jamie, Dante, Patrick, all at $12,876. So we will come back to those. I will get more horses. We will. We've got lots of things that we're going to be doing. And I've got one of the big costs, one of the big expenses for our leased machinery is actually this bad boy up here. And I'm wondering if I should just get rid of this one now. Thinking maybe it would... Thinking it would probably be a good idea if we sent that one back, because that's costing us... The majority of our $5,000 a day on leasing costs is going to be going through that one, isn't it? I mean, if we have a look down here... in forestry machines like that, and then we go over to that one right there. We've got the wheel stand setup. There is the Kovacs. Leasing cost initial was 23,000 per day, not doing anything at all. There's still almost $5,000. And it was 15 grand in total for leasing costs. So, yes, we do want to send this one back, I think. We're not going to be using it very much at the moment. There's not a lot else that we're going to use it for anyway. So, if we send that one back, return, yes. I know that Man TGS there is also going to be quite a substantial amount on the leasing costs. However, I am going to keep that one on the farm at the moment because... there's a whole load of other trees up there that I'd like to get rid of, and we're going to be using the Bruks chipper to do that. So it's nice, quick, easy to do with the Bruks chipper, and we want that lorry and all of those trailers in order to be able to pull it. So let me come out of there, we'll get that fertilizer spinner on, and we'll dump a little bit of fertilizer on this field, and then that one's going to be ready to harvest once the harvest comes round. Let's get you on 1,300 litres. Well, I've got a bit of fertilizer down here I can pick up a minute. Is in that one. It's not a great deal in there, but it is some. One thing we're going to miss is having our seed drill put the first layer of fertilizer on. It means that we're going to have to do it ourselves from here on in. But it's not like a major thing. It is going to be a bit of a nuisance. I'll bring that up round there. Because the outside round is not really going to be affected. So all I need to do up here is on this top bit that it's going to have more of an effect. So I want to bring this up to here. Just make sure that it's kind of all gone in together. There we go. I'm overlapping on the edge of the field quite substantially here right now. I've kind of got method to this map. This is to get a rough idea of where I am in the field, so that when I go back round, I can hopefully set it to the right point, and then the hired help can just carry on and finish off, because it's really difficult to see what you're doing on the field. And then our next time that we plant this field, we will do it properly. We're not going to leave it all messy like this the next time we go through and plant it. It was just this time because I didn't want to use that really small drill to fill in all of these bits. So we've now got the bigger drill. It should work just fine. So if I bring that one down to there, and then I press H on there, right, that is going to do fertilizer all the way through. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. Tickety-boo, amazing. You are going to stop right there. You're not going to do anything else for a minute. And you are going to start up. You're going to lift that one up. Put that out so that it's all ready to roll. Otherwise I will forget. And I don't want to go that way. Actually, no, we can go around this back way. That way would be acceptable. So I will do that, and I'll start unfolding as we go. Bouncing up round here. We can drive up onto this bit. We're going to need to scoop up that grass soon and tip it in for the sheep. Probably ought to do that sooner rather than later, I should think. And I'm going to do once around the outside of this field, manually, and then we'll let it carry on itself. So far, from what people have been telling me, there is no indication that we've got the... Switch that over. There's no indication at the moment that anybody's working on the AI vehicle extension, which I thought that was my favourite mod of all time. I know that they're working on Courseplay, and several people have said that they're also working on the GPS mod. Now, I liked the GPS mod. It was good. It's great for like lining things up and stuff like that. But it didn't, you know, I do feel that now that we can use hired help for just about everything, it is going to be a little bit more limited. It will really help us out with doing missions. Well, sort of help us out with doing missions. I think when the GPS mod was running, you had then the hired helpers doing stuff, didn't you? Can't remember now. Something like that, I think. Anyway, that bit doesn't really matter. GPS mod is being worked on, and Courseplay is being worked on. So far, it doesn't look like anybody's working on the AI vehicle extension, which is probably my biggest disappointment so far in the game. I was really hoping that they would have something like the AI vehicle extension, even if it was just for combines in the game this time round, because being able to have your combine drive itself around the outside of the field a couple of turns, it was just amazing. It was just absolutely awesome, and I am genuinely disappointed that that is not in the base game. So hopefully, fingers crossed, somebody will be able to work on the AI vehicle extension, and we will eventually see it make a return to the game. We may not, we may just have to suffer along without it. Now, Courseplay, I don't recall Courseplay being particularly good at sort of doing curved turns and stuff around the edges of the fields. I could be wrong, and maybe Courseplay did do that. I mean, if it did, then ideal. I'll just have to get used to using Courseplay a bit more. I did use Courseplay a bit in some of the videos, but I didn't use it all that much. I didn't think much of it, to be honest, and for something like doing the time-lapse as well, the big control screen coming along and setting it all up, I didn't particularly like that either, whereas the AI vehicle extension was relatively simple. It was a nice, easy one to go and set up and get going, and then you just whoosh, you were away. It was nice and simple, and there were relatively few complications that you had to concern yourself with. Now, I'll bring that one over there like that, and we'll stop. I think we'll go about there, and then I'll start the hired help. Helper H has completed their task. I'm going to slow that down now. We're going to go, we'll... Yeah, I'm just making sure that's going to go up where I want it to. I don't think it is. I think it's not going to go right to the top of the field. We'll leave it on 5 times speed. Let's just see what the hired help is going to do here. It's lifting up. It is going up across the field. The big question is it going to go right to the top of the field and then turn itself round? Or is it going to turn before then? No, it's going to go to the very top of the field and then turn round. I like the way that it does that. I really do. Okay. We've got fertilizer on this field over here. So that one will be ready to harvest as well. We've got wheat for the chickens being harvested over there. And we've got oats over here. More oats for the horses, because we were running a little bit low on the oats for the horses. So we've got that ready to go as well. We've still got plenty of fertilizer in this tank. That's good. Our next task is going to... Well, we've done the fertilizing. We've done the spraying. We're not going to need to worry about those. About the only thing that we might want to do is maybe get a rake. And we could rake the weeds out. I've had mixed responses on weeds. If we weed the fields... Now, I don't think you can use the weeder at stage 1 as a preventative treatment for weeds. But I think you can use it before stage 1 and during stage 1 as a treatment. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Rear twins. We'll go with... No, I don't want standards. I want just ordinary wide tires. Customize, yes. And I can do that whilst we have a negative balance. It's a very important thing to be able to do that whilst we have a negative balance. So we've got the wheat working over there. I need my trailer, which is over this way, and then we can get the wheat offloaded from the combine straight into here. And then we're going to want to get the baler hooked up so that we can start doing some baling. It means we have actually got quite a lot of baling to go and do. We've got from here, look. We got that field there, and we've got the oat field. Come over this way. So today and tomorrow, I would like comments from you. What would you like me to do for either the live stream on Friday or on Monday's episode? I want either the live stream or Monday's episode to be on a different map or somewhere off. You know, maybe we go off and do a different job somewhere else on this map. Maybe there's something that we could do that would be reasonably realistic that we could do. Right, I meant to try and get to that before that combine went to turn round, because he's going to get to the bottom of the hill and be full, and we're not going to be able to offload that tank full of grain. Let me go to the combine. Hang on, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it like this. We've done a couple lines over there. I'm going to bring it over this side, and I'm going to do a little bit over here, look. I turn that combine there, and we'll run a next straight line straight down here, and then it will work from this side back. So there, I'll go like that, press H, and then I will go through to this tractor, and I will run up round behind that combine, and hopefully be able to offload as we go. So yeah, get in the comment section and tell me what you'd like me to do, either for the live stream, you know, is there something different you'd like me to look at for the live stream instead of doing it on this map? Or would you prefer me to live stream from this map again and do something different in... Right, you slow down a bit, dude. Slow down. Slow down. You gonna stop? When do you stop? Yeah, now he stopped. Right. So, yeah, either we'll look at something different for the live stream, and we'll do a different map for that, or we will take a one-off look at a new map for Monday's episode, and have, you know, do a map tour or something like that, so that we don't have things crossed over. I'm not able to record Monday's episode after the live stream because of home life and spending time with my family and kids. So that's not an option, unfortunately, but what I can do is I can do this. We can have either Monday's episode, or I can have do something on... I don't know why I'm bringing this all the way... I'm going to probably go all the way around, I should think. Yeah, either Monday's episode will be on a different map, or the live stream be on a different map. I could do that, and that would allow us then to have a bit more variation. And it would also get rid of the whole sort of hinky timeline issues that we have normally after live streams and so on and so forth. So hopefully that will sort of cater to everybody. Or as cater to everybody as much as I think we're going to efficiently cater to everybody. Obviously, you can't cater to everybody all the time, but we can give it a good go. We can definitely give it a good go. So I will go and get the baler onto this tractor, so that is ready to go. I'm not actually going to start baling today. We'll probably get going with the baling in tomorrow's episode. I want to have a look at some eggs in a minute. I know that we don't have any money for eggs at the moment. We don't have any money for getting a skid steer at the moment. But we can at least get a few things picked up, ready to roll. So I'll just bring this one up here. And get that one on the straw. So yeah, I was thinking of doing some more grass. But I'm going to leave that for a minute. We'll let that one go for a bit. And we're going to go... No, I'll let you go there. Where's the... I think this is probably as close as I'm going to get to those eggs. So we'll run over here. And at the moment, I've got that pallet there that I was sort of starting to fill up. So you can do this, look. Right? And it does depend where you position the eggs against the pallet as to where they load. But, of course, the big test is going to be where on that pallet have the eggs got to touch in order for it to load. If I put that one down like that, right down on the side, see? It doesn't like it on there. And right there, it doesn't like that either. So, you know, I'm looking down here. I'm thinking that it's probably not going to work just by shunting it along. I'm doing this as well. Doesn't like that. I got to lift it up. I've manually got to bring it up to about that height before it's actually ready to put the eggs into the pallet. Which makes me think that I am, regardless of what I do, still going to have to pick each of these boxes up manually in order to get them to go into that pallet. I mean, it's no problem on this one, but my dreams of possibly doing this in the time-lapse, I'm thinking maybe not, because that's going to be a very horrible, blurry, motion sickness-inducing experience if we try and do it like that. It really is going to be rather bad if we try and do it like that. So, thinking it probably best if we didn't try and do something like that. Not too much, anyway. Come over this way, and I'm just going to switch you off a sec. And then we'll go back over to you. And actually, what's this combine running out? Oh, it's not even halfway full. It's probably going to finish up this field before we need to worry about it. What I will do, though, is I will just offload the combine. Even though it's going to be about full, it'll probably almost finish the field. I'm going to... I'll back this one up. Like that. There we go. And we'll get alongside that combine and we'll get some grain unloaded. And then we can get some more tipped out into the chickens. Because the chickens are actually starting, like, they're down to about halfway. And as their numbers increase, obviously the food layer is going to decrease as well. So we could do with getting as much food into those chickens as possible. Not that we have very much. We are a bit limited on food. We kind of went and sold a whole load of it, didn't we? Let's get to the bottom of the hill and then we'll see how much we've got. So I'm pretty sure we went and sold like a whole load of the food. It's 12,000 litres. There we go. Right, that'll do. Combine can finish off that field. So if we have a look in here, we've got 3,800 litres of wheat. That is it. And we sold our barley. It was the barley that we sold. So we're going to need more grain. We have to get more grain onto this map, which means that big field over there. We're doing oats at the moment for the horses, because we've got a load more horses as well. So they're using up the oats fairly quickly. We're going to want more oats, and we're going to need more either wheat or barley as well. We're going to have to start producing quite a bit of these. So let's back you up there. Ready to tip? Yeah, that'll tip. Tip you out there. That is... Oh, that's good. That's exactly half of what will go in there. So that one has got that bit. Then we can come over here. We can get the next one. And look at... Yeah, we do actually have quite a lot of boxes of eggs there. And that's the bit that I'm sort of starting to wonder about. how sensible this idea of mine was. I mean, I'm wondering if maybe we could have like a bucket and we could just try and scoop the boxes up with a bucket and dump them in a big trailer. It's a bit rough handling, admittedly. I know that you know, this kind of extreme rough handling. If we were to drop these right here, look, and then just take these, we get a bucket. It probably wouldn't work very well on the skid steer, but still, you get the bucket and you just sort of run it up against the fence and scoop it against the fence. You can scoop up bucketfuls of boxes of eggs and dump them into this Joskin trailer, and we could run that up the road and we could sell it like that. We'd make a fortune. How much are eggs going for at the moment? 5,400 at the central grain elevator. That's insane. Let's lower that down. We do have 2 pallets over here. I don't know how much the 2 pallets would take. We've got all of these. How much were horses? Let's have a look. Let's see how much we could get from the horses. If I was to sell a few of them. Tech Lime is $37,000. Windwalker is $12,000. I mean, we could sell Tech Lime for $37,000. Wool. How much is wool? We've got quite a few pallets of wool as well. Let's not forget that's $1,100. Almost $1,200. That's not too bad a price. Again, it's kind of acceptable. Decisions. How do we do this? We might have to... Well, I think what we would need to do... It's 1,200, isn't it? So we would get basically 1,200 per pallet on here. So we've got we've got 10 pallets, so that would be $12,000 for the wool. I could get another 37,000 for one of the horses. And we've got these 2 lots of eggs right here, or there will be 2 lots of eggs. If we were to take this little trailer over and just sort of mess around with those a bit, we could probably do it like that. Right, I think that's how we'll do it. We'll just let's finish off this harvest a minute. That's what I want to do first. So I'm going to go to the combine right there. We've got the last little bit of grain here. Then I'm thinking that we can get the... What about the eggs? I think we'll try that with the eggs. We'll just see what it does with the bucket. I know that's really unrealistic, but I'm curious to see how well that would work. Whether it would work at all. Whether we can actually just pick the eggs up with a bucket and scoop them into a big trailer like that and tip them. We've got 2 pallets there of eggs for doing, you know, properly with eggs later on. We can also work on that. There's various options. We do have options. Let me unload you a sec. So there's the rest of our wheat. Unfortunately, we've only got 6,000 litres of wheat in storage, which is barely going to be enough for these 2, for the chicken pens that we've got. I don't think it's going to be enough for any more chicken pens. So what we're also going to need to do is get more wheat going, or, well, wheat or barley, it doesn't really matter. So that's going to be one of the things we're going to need to do. I'm going to stop you there, and just going to park you up. We're going to wait until the whole field is ready to go before we do that one. So that one can stay right there ready to go. You can... Actually, no. I don't want you to stay there. I want you to move back a bit. I've got the baling to do. That's going to get us a little bit of money. Not a vast sum, but a little bit. Oops. I don't want to do that. No, I need to press J, not Q. No, not J. G. G! There. Right. I'll get it eventually. We can do that, and now I can run over and I can drop the front weight off. I'm going to just leave it with the front weight. I'm just going to drop the front weight down here by this one. Lower you down. Drop you off properly this time. Yeah, like that. And we will go and get that front loader on. This is going to be the very last thing I do today. We'll get that front loader on, and we will just test if we can scoop up some bucketfuls of eggs. It's a bit rough and ready scooping up bucketfuls of eggs. I'm not really sure that if we want realism, I'm not really sure this is the correct way to go about it. But, you know, on the other hand, if it works, then maybe we can, you know, we can do it once. But it is the pallet of eggs that we're going to go for mainly. That is kind of the main aim for this, is to try and get it to work with the pallets of eggs. So I might just do this with one of these, and then try the pallet of eggs with the other one. I don't know at the moment. I'm undecided. Let's go to this one. That one over there, I think we will try pushing a pallet against it and see if the pallet does auto-load. We may not even be able to pick these up. Right? This may not work at all, because those boxes do take up a fair bit of space. So this, I mean, looking at it there. Right. I can pick up some boxes. Like that. See? I can definitely pick up some boxes. And I can bring them over. And I can tip them in the trailer like that. That does work. So we can do that bit at least. Whether, you know, how well it's gonna sort of work in the long run, trying to do it like this. That they don't like sort of picking up like that. But we can definitely sort of scoop them off the ground, and oh, you got to bring it up like that in order to bring them up. But we can definitely scoop them off the ground, and we can definitely bring them over, and we can tip them into the Joskin trailer like this. It's a good job our eggs are well packed. Plus we have warm chickens, so they're laying hard-boiled eggs anyway, so it's fine. They're not going to break. Okay, the eggs aren't going to break. They're well packed, and we've got hard-boiled eggs being laid. And that would be so much easier. It doesn't like it. It's just the way that I'm trying to pick these up. That's the bit that it doesn't like. Is I'm scooping into them here, like that, and I can scoop to there. But then this is the difficult bit, is getting the boxes loaded, and it's quite slow. I would have been quicker just to throw these in by hand. Definitely would have been quicker to just chuck these in by hand. And this is actually something that does disappoint me a little bit with the game. You know, the whole thing with Farming Simulator, you got all of this automated stuff, and farming is mostly automated these days. You know, everything has got mechanical means, and yeah, I think, you know, start off like this by all means with your chickens, but I don't think it should have been kept like this. I think there should have been an upgradable option somewhere where it would automatically load the eggs onto pallets for you, so that you've then got eggs ready to ship straight out the door. Having to come in and do it like this, manually like this, is, to my mind, not particularly realistic. You go to a lot of egg places, they have even like really small scale egg farms that have just little movable chicken pens around. You know, they're outside, they're movable chicken pens, they move round, and you've got maybe 100 or 200 layers in each pen. They still have it set so that the eggs are automatically loaded, that they're packed and loaded onto pallets. And that's the big thing, is that they are automatically loaded onto pallets, right? There's I think it was an Australian guy who had this whole system set up where the eggs were being automatically loaded onto pallets, even in the really small chicken pens, and it worked really well. It did work. It was quite a good system. It does work, and he sells these systems. I think he sells them all over the world now. But yeah, we don't have that. We're still manually picking up the eggs, and to my mind, I think there should be an option for upgrading. So I'm going to be on the lookout, obviously, in the future for mods that will allow us to automate more of the egg production. You know, if we want eggs to be a big part of our gameplay, we're going to need to find ways to automate it a bit better, because otherwise it's not going to be a big part of the gameplay. It's just going to have to stay as a small part, because having to chuck them around by hand all the time. Anyway, we'll worry about that another day. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.